Hey guys, it's George and Dave here. We just got done shooting that video out at SIW Vegetables about the two queen honey. Um, and we just wanted to kind of do a little preamble really quick about that. You could probably tell from the video you're about to watch that there was a ton of bees in that hive, and we were maybe slightly unprepared. And so we definitely recommend keeping in mind that you should probably be fully suited up for that. Also, you know, it was just he and I, so during the video he had to sort of throw boxes on while I was shooting with the camera, and so we do squish a lot of bees. So, you know, normally that wouldn't be the case, but in this case we did squish some bees, and you'll see that happen, so just a warning about that. But really, just, you know, the goal of the video was to just show you that the two queen hive can make a lot of honey. And George, you know, we were just talking about this after the fact, but like, that hive was probably under supered, right?
Yeah, no, we probably could have put 2 or 3 more supers on that hive and made another 100 pounds of honey off the amount of bees that were out there. So
Yeah, so
I mean, we don't want to overwork the bees, but you know, bees like to forage. So, and when you have lots of bees, they do lots of foraging. So super them up on the two queen hive, super them high.
yeah, so if you really, the point of this video is not that this is normally how we'd always inspect it, or how we'd always, you know, we're not weighing supers every time we go out there and squishing bees between the supers. But the point is to just show you that if you want to make 300 pounds of honey, I mean, for us in our area, we should note that, like, I know people out there are making 250 pounds in Langstroth hives and in their area, but for our area, this was a down year. Most commonly, you can look for about 100 pounds of honey from a double deep, you know, traditional hive. And this hive in a down year at least made 200 pounds and probably should have made 300.
And Dave survived.
And I survived. I didn't get stung.
he's never been around that many bees.
Yeah, I had to run away a few times, but
yeah. So when you work a two queen hive, make sure you're suited. Make sure your cameraman's suited.
yeah.
And
Maybe you have a hand.
make sure you have an extra hand or two, because you're gonna have lots of bees and lots of honey.
So I don't know if this is gonna be before the video or after the video, but you know, we just wanted to put that out there.
And all the other things that I did wrong, leave comments. I listen and I read them. So for all of the beekeepers out there, you say, George, do it this way, or George, do it that way. I promise you I'll read them and think about it. Not promise you I'll do it. Promise you I'll think about it.
All right, thanks guys.
Bye.
All right, George, so what are we doing today?
Hey Dave, welcome back to SIW. This is the location that we have some of our two queen keepers at, and today we're going to see how much honey our two queen keeper has made so far. But what I want to point out first is that notice how big these hives are. So you could tell how big these hives are just based on the amount of bees bearding that you have going up this tower. So on that, all the way at the bottom at the entrance, you have bearding. Here you have bees outside the hive. Here you have bees outside the hive. There you have bees outside the hive. You can open your observation window and see how many bees you have inside this hive there. You can come around to the other side here, Dave, and look on this entrance, and you can see how many bees you have here. So I know that this hive has a tremendous amount of bees in it. And the number one thing about making a lot of honey is having a lot of bees. And that's one of the things about the two queen keeper, is that it has a lot of bees. Now, this hive, again, with the two queen keeper, you're running 2 separate colonies in the hive, and you're basically demarraying up to the exchange box to prevent swarming. In this hive, early in the season, actually this side did take off early, did swarm. I was a little late on initiating the demarree, and this side took off. So that this hive could actually even have more bees in it than it has today. So again, when you're thinking about honey production, the number one thing is to have a lot of bees in the hive. And with the two queen keeper, you could have upwards near 60 to 100,000 bees in the hive. So we are in good shape there, just based on looking at how many bees there are, Dave. So today, I haven't pulled any honey off this hive yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to weigh the supers that are on this hive. So basically, we're going to weigh this super, this exchange box. I haven't demo-read in probably a month now. So this is all hatched out, and this is probably honey, and this is honey. This is the spacer box that we're going to leave for them to overwinter on. So this is going to stay in the hive, but all this we're going to weigh to see how much honey we have on today. Again, it's sort of been a down year for honey production in our area because of the cold, wet May and the hot June. So the hives have generally been producing at probably about 60% of what they normally produce in our area. So it's exciting just to see what's on the hive. So what do you think, Dave?
Yeah, let's get to it.
Let's get to it. Okay, this is going to be a little scary, Dave.
That's all right. Put your suit on.
Yeah, I think I'm going to put my suit on today. It's doing a waggle dance. Not outside the hive. Crazy.
All right. Go ahead.
So we've taken the inner cover off, Dave, and there's a couple good things that you want to notice about this hive. One is that it's well populated with bees, so again, more bees and more honey. And secondly, you see all this brand new white wax on this hive, on the top inner cover. So you know they've been bringing back a lot of nectar for the bees to be able to make all this new wax up here. So that's a good sign that that we're going to be in good shape with honey in this hive. So let's take a look here.
It looks heavy.
Okay, Dave. So our first super, our medium super, 10 frame medium super is at 53 pounds. Again, some of that weight is not honey, but you can see why our keepers hive, both the 1 and 2 queen, when you can manage the brood chamber without lifting the supers, it's definitely a win. So there's 52 pounds on that box. We're going to go into the next super. Now I have 9 frames in my 10 frame boxes. That allows them to build the comb out a little bit thicker and put a little bit more honey in there. So far, so good.
It's a lot of bees on that box.
Yeah, so again, this is what you want to see. You want to prevent swarming. If you want to make honey, if you want to maximize your honey production, the number one thing you have to do is to prevent swarming. And you're going to know if you prevented swarming by just looking at the population of bees in the box. So here's our second super, Dave. So Dave.
Yep.
Now we're up to 113 pounds.
Okay. That one was a lot more then.
So that was...
Or maybe not. Same amount.
What was the first one? 53 pounds?
53.
So that's 60.
Yeah.
So they're heavy. They're heavy. So we're going to keep going here. So again, you can see I'm looking down this box and it looks all wonderfully capped honey, a ton of bees. So here we go. This one's going to be the big one, Dave, potentially.
Okay. You're going to throw it right on top?
I'm going to try to throw it right on top. Okay, this is the second deep. This was the exchange box. This was the exchange box. Try not to scrunch bees. Okay, Dave.
What are you up to?
193.
Okay, so 70 pounds on that one.
Yeah, that's why, people who are running double deep
So
brood
many
chambers
bees. I gotta back up. Go
and
ahead.
doing double deep brood chambers and trying to inspect the brood nest is not easy because that second deep, as you can see, can weigh up near 80 pounds. Okay, we got one more box, Dave.
All right.
And then we're going to have our grand total for what we're going to harvest. Okay.
Careful, that stack looks a little like it's rocking a little bit.
Yeah, I know, and you can see how many bees are in this hive, Dave.
Oh my God.
It's crazy. You know, if you want big colonies, a 2-queen keeper is the way to go. It's definitely the way to go. So we got one more box to put on here, Dave. So here we go. And again, this is what we're going to harvest. You could still harvest these 10 frame too, but we're going to leave this for the bees to overwinter in. But you could pull this box off, which would probably be another 50 pounds. But our grand total of the weight of these boxes is 240 pounds.
All right, so hang on. Say that again. I walked away. I'm getting swarmed.
Got it. So Dave.
Yeah.
So we basically have pulled off the boxes that we're going to harvest from, and the weight of those boxes is 240 pounds.
Okay.
So granted, some of the weight is the boxes and the frames, but we have at least probably 200 pounds of honey in these boxes. And we could also harvest these frames if we want, because these are just honey frames at this point. But I think we're going to leave these for the bees to overwinter.
Got it.
So we are not going to need to feed this hive in the fall, and we're going to harvest 200 and plus pounds of honey off this hive.
Sweet.
So,
all right, so me and George had to
retreat
into the forest. I don't know if other people use this trick, but George and Nat told me that if there's ever a bees buzzing my head or whatever, just go into some trees, and it usually helps them leave. And it's definitely true for us. So that's where we are. There were a ton of bees in that hive, George. A ton of bees.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's good. That's good swarm prevention right there. So again, the bottom line of honey production is two things: prevent your hives from swarming to develop big bee populations, and then put enough supers on it when the flow's on. And if you do that and you have 2 colonies in one hive, you're going to have such a tremendous amount of foragers to really put a lot of honey in there. And that showed you right there. I mean, that hive has made 200 plus pounds of honey, and if I had put 2 more supers on it, we probably could have done close to 250, 300 pounds of honey. So you did see me suit up. I'm tearing apart the hive to get the supers off. Unlike when I routinely just do a routine hive inspection where I'm just sitting down, just interrupting the nurse bees down in the brood nest, not messing with all the foragers that are above. You know, that's what's beautiful about the keeper's hive, whether or not the 1 queen keeper or the 2 queen keeper. To do your inspections, you're not tearing apart the whole hive like we did today. You're just in the brood chamber, and you have so many less bees disturbed. So a couple other things I learned today is you just gotta keep calm. I squished a few bees, which probably didn't help us. I probably should have had a brush and brushed the bees off the top of the boxes when I stacked the supers, because there were so many bees. And when you squish bees, you release the alarm pheromone, and that probably set them off a little bit. And again, it is fun to make honey. You know, even if you're a backyard beekeeper, you don't need 250 pounds of honey. It is fun if you have something to do with 250 pounds of honey. But beekeeping should be fun. So whether or not you make 30 pounds or 250 pounds, beekeeping should be fun. And one of the ways to make beekeeping fun is to make it easier. Seeded hive inspections, no lifting, easy brood inspections. It makes it more fun. But if you want to make a lot of honey, the 2 queen keeper is the way to do it. We have 2 weeks left on our Indiegogo campaign where you can get one of the 2 queen keepers. If you purchase during the Indiegogo campaign, you're going to get lifetime 10% off any products that you order with the Keeper's Hive. which is amazing. So I hope you enjoyed watching me get suited up, sweat. I surely enjoyed sharing with you how much honey the 2 Queen Hive can make, and we look forward to working together to keep our bees healthy and to also keep our bees productive. So thanks, Dave.
Thank you, George.